Welcome to your first lesson in Instant French, quick preparation for a trip to France. As you learned in the introduction, each Instant French lesson is based on the kind of conversations that you will have in real life every day during your trip to France. So we're going to start out by learning how to meet and greet people in the French language. In our first conversation, 17-year-old Mackenzie is excited to meet up on the first day of her trip to Paris with her French friend Baptiste Roussin, who she had gotten to know when he stayed with her family on their horse farm in the States for 2 weeks several summers ago. They decide to rendezvous on the street outside the Odéon metro station. She's happy to see him, so she greets him warmly and asks him how it's going. Baptiste then introduces her to his father, Yvon, who knows Mackenzie's parents very well, but who Mackenzie herself has never met. So here we go. Unless you've had some French in the past, you probably won't understand a word of this conversation. But that's the way we want it for now. At the beginning, we just want you to listen carefully to the sounds and rhythm of the language. You're going to start out learning this language without seeing words in front of you or even knowing what they mean. But stick with it. This approach is going to result in you having a much more fluent accent. By the end of the lesson, I promise you, the light bulb will go on and all of these strange, unintelligible new sounds are going to suddenly start making a lot of sense.
Salut Baptiste. Bonjour Mackenzie. Comment ça va? Ça va bien. Et toi? Je vais bien, merci. Mackenzie, c'est mon père, Yvan. Bonjour Monsieur Roussin. Je m'appelle Mackenzie. Je suis enchantée. Ah Mackenzie, c'est un plaisir. Tu es vraiment belle. Comme ta mère. Merci, c'est gentil. Comment allez-vous, Monsieur Roussin? Très bien, Mackenzie. Okay, that was your first short conversation in French. So now we're going to go through this conversation again, slowly and one sentence at a time. I'm going to repeat each sentence twice, and then there will be a beep followed by a pause in the recording, which is where you will say the phrases twice yourself. Listen carefully and try imitating the sounds. Be patient. A little later, you're going to understand very well the phrases you're now going to try to say. Salut Baptiste. Salut Baptiste. Bonjour Mackenzie. Bonjour Mackenzie. Comment ça va? Comment ça va? Ça va bien. Et toi? Ça va bien. Et toi? Je vais bien, merci. Je vais bien, merci. Mackenzie, c'est mon père, Yvan. Mackenzie, c'est mon père, Yvan. Bonjour, Monsieur Roussin. Bonjour, Monsieur Roussin. Je m'appelle Mackenzie. Je m'appelle Mackenzie. Je suis enchantée. Je suis enchantée. Ah, Mackenzie, c'est un plaisir. Ah, Mackenzie, c'est un plaisir. Tu es vraiment belle. Tu es vraiment belle. Comme ta mère. Comme ta mère. Merci, c'est gentil. Merci, c'est gentil. Comment allez-vous, monsieur Roussin? Comment allez-vous, monsieur Roussin? Très bien, Mackenzie. Très bien, Mackenzie.
That was a bit difficult, wasn't it? Having to say phrases without seeing them in writing or knowing what they mean. But remember, this is the way infant children learn to speak, with a native accent. Later on, when you are speaking French with very little accent, you will thank us for this. Don't forget, in this course, we are teaching you to speak, not just to read. Now you've come to your first stop sign, and you are about to make sense of what you just practiced saying. So pause your video here, go ahead and read lesson 1 in the text, and then return to this spot in the video to continue. You're going to get the opportunity to practice this conversation again later in the video, but next time it will be with the words on the screen in front of you. You'll like that. We won't be cruel to you forever. If you're trying out Instant French for the first time before you decide to spring for purchase, which is a very good idea, and you would like to read lesson 1 in the text, you can read it for free by downloading the Instant French Quick Preparation for a Trip to France sample on your Kindle, or by going to the web address at the bottom of your screen on Amazon. Okay, now things are starting to make a little more sense after reading the text. Next, it's time to learn to pronounce some of the French pronouns you heard in the conversation. When you are pronouncing the pronouns, rather than thinking of the English word translation, I want you instead to think of a mental image of the French word. For instance, when you say the word je, which means I, of course, don't think of the English translation I, but instead think of a mental image of yourself. Similarly, when you pronounce nous, don't think of the English word we, but rather create a mental image of you and your friends together in your own mind. And that's how we begin to think in French rather than thinking in English and then translating. Now Julie's going to pronounce each of the pronouns twice and then pause after the beep for you to practice saying the pronoun twice yourself.
Je. Tu. Il. Elle. Ça. On. Nous. vous, vous, il, elle, elle. Now it's maybe time for a little pronunciation advice. On is a nasal sound that you pronounce almost like a O shape with your lips. But there is a little trick with the air. You have to exhale through your nose while blocking the air from getting out through your mouth only. Most of the air goes through your nose. This is why it's called a nasal sound. You can try and check using your finger right under your nose and you see if you feel air. Most of the air goes through your nose. This is why it's called a nasal sound. Try again. Now, ou. You may have noticed that ou, as in nous and vous, is created by the two letters O and U together, while U on its own creates a sound that English does not have. This sound is U. To create it, pronounce I and keep your tongue and teeth exactly the same. Then just change your lips and bring them forward. You should be close from our French U. Notice also that the S on the end of nous, as well as the S on the end of vous, il, and elle, is silent because it is the final consonant on the end of a word. And, as you now well know after reading the text, the French don't pronounce most of the final consonants.
All right, now that we know French pronouns, we're going to spend a little time working on the pronunciation of the verbs that were introduced in our first conversation, aller and être. These are two of the most important verbs in French, so you want to make sure you know their conjugation cold. Notice that in the singular conjugations, il, elle, ça, and on all use the singular third-person conjugate va. That makes it easy. Likewise, in the plural form, il and elle use the same conjugate form, vont. Also notice that, as usual, we do not pronounce the final consonant of either the pronoun or the verb, with two exceptions. You'll notice that all of the verb conjugates start with the consonant V, except allons and aller. In those two cases, we do pronounce the S on the end of nous and vous, and we sort of slide into the vowel A. This is called liaison, and it works this way with all final consonants followed by a vowel. When we slide the S into the A, you will notice that it almost sounds like a Z. Nous allons, vous allez. So listen for it. Here we go. Julie will say each form twice, followed by the usual beep and pause.
Aller. Je vais. Je vais. Tu vas. Tu vas. Il, elle, ça, on va. Il, elle, ça, on va. Nous allons. Nous allons. Vous allez. Vous allez. Ils, elles, vont. Ils, elles vont. Être. Je suis. Je suis. Tu es. Tu es. Il est. Est. Il est. Elle est. Elle est. On est. On est. Nous sommes. Nous sommes. Vous êtes. Vous êtes. Ils sont. Ils sont. Elles sont. Elles sont. Now, let's give you just a little bit more info about links that we call les liaisons in French. As you just learned, when there is a vowel at the first letter of the next word, we use the last consonant, which is normally silent, to create a link between what would otherwise be two vowel sounds together, which are always hard to pronounce. A consonant followed by a vowel is easier to pronounce. We also do this just because the French like equality between vowels and consonants. So you heard me pronounce on est and vous êtes, and not on est, vous êtes. It would simply be too many vowel sounds together. So let's pronounce some liaisons together. N, on est, and z, vous êtes.
Now we're going to give you the opportunity to practice our conversation one more time, but this time with the words in front of you.
Salut Baptiste. Salut Baptiste. Bonjour Mackenzie. Bonjour Mackenzie. Comment ça va? Comment ça va? Ça va bien. Et toi? Ça va bien. Et toi? Je vais bien, merci. Je vais bien, merci. Mackenzie, c'est mon père, Yvan. Mackenzie, c'est mon père, Yvan. Bonjour, monsieur Roussin. Bonjour, monsieur Roussin. Je m'appelle Mackenzie. Je m'appelle Mackenzie. Je suis enchantée. Je suis enchantée. Ah, Mackenzie, c'est un plaisir. Ah, Mackenzie, c'est un plaisir. Tu es vraiment belle. Tu es vraiment belle. Comme ta mère. Comme ta mère. Merci, c'est gentil. Merci, c'est gentil. Comment allez-vous, monsieur Roussin? Comment allez-vous, monsieur Roussin? Très bien, Mackenzie. Très bien, Mackenzie.
Well, that's it. End of lesson 1. Wasn't so bad, huh? So here's what I'd suggest you do now. One of the most powerful ways to practice is to pretend that you're meeting one of your friends and make up little conversations in your head while you're driving, having lunch, working out, or lying in bed. Do whatever it takes to make those phrases seem natural to you so they roll off your tongue with ease. And by the time you leave for France, much to your amazement, you will actually be speaking French.